What is going on, guys? Mars here. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. God damn. So today's story is going to be about my first time greening out. This story, it's kind of funny in its own way, but not funny, you know? Whenever I turned 14 is probably whenever I became known as like one of the bad kids or whatever. Like, you know, vaping, smoking weed, just not being a good kid. And I was so cocky that I was on the phone with my ex-girlfriend, okay? And she was like, no, don't do that. You won't be able to handle it. You know, like you just started smoking. And I was like, you know what? Okay, fine, whatever. And I went into my mom's room. I stole 2 edibles out of the bag. Whenever I ate them, it took maybe 5 to 10 minutes for those to kick. Like, at first, it was just kind of mellow. I was sitting here, I was playing games. And then the next, like, maybe 20 minutes, those were the last minutes I were awake for, like, 12, 13 hours. I was sitting here, and my dad made this mac and cheese thing. I don't remember what all was in it, but it was some kind of mac and cheese. And I went to the kitchen, I got a bowl of it. I ate like half of it, and I was literally laying face down on the floor with one of my AirPods in, and I was listening to some song. God. It was an old MGK song. Oh my God. It was an old MGK song. I think it was a Warning Shot, but I was laying face down on the ground, and I remember seeing, like, if you guys have ever seen Lego Batman, which you probably have unless you've lived in a cave for the last few years, I kept seeing the Lego Joker, but like a life-size version. And he gave me like CPR, dude, I swear. But God, I sound like I'm some fucking crackhead telling this story. And then I remember like just laying there, and I ended up falling asleep, right? And I woke up, and I felt the worst I have ever felt in my life. Like, ugh, it was horrible, dude. And I felt sick, and finally, this was a little bit after Christmas, whenever I turned 14. Not 13, I know I was talking about that. But I was 14. I had just turned 14 a few days prior, and my birthday is a little bit after Christmas. God. But I had just turned 14, thought I knew everything about the world, like I was the best kid ever. Like, I knew everything. That was not the case at all. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked watching this gameplay that I had. But I wake up, and since it was just Christmas, like 2 weeks before, I still had like Christmas clothes that I hadn't got to wear yet. And I remember the exact pair of pants that were sitting on the floor next to me. They were this black pair of Aeropostale sweatpants, and they said Aeropostale in red and white on the leg. And I was just like sitting there, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna die. And literally, I threw up all over this pair of sweatpants. And I threw up so many times. It was, like, disgusting. Oh, God, I'm going into detail here. Like, you could still see the, like, fully undigested food that I had just ate. And I fell asleep, like, just laying there on the floor until I woke back up and I laid in my bed for a little bit. I remember laying there, I was like, I'm dying. I wasn't dying, I was being a bitch. But I just felt so bad. I cannot stress enough how bad I felt. It was definitely the worst experience of my life. Well, no, not the worst, but it was not the best. I have a lot more stories like this, guys. If you want to hear them, just comment down below and let me know.